We are really honored to have our newsmaker of the week, and that is my old friend and colleague, James O'Keefe, who I met many years ago when he was trying to find out some place to sleep and scrounge a steak. And now he has really distinguished himself as an investigative journalist. He is not politically correct. He goes where his subjects lead him. And he has used the camera to expose some extraordinary truths about the epic corruption of the Clinton and Democratic machines. And I'm convinced that these disclosures, in combination with the WikiLeaks, which only weeks ago the left told us would be nothing, would be a milk-fed puppy, but in fact has, I think, damaged the Clintons substantially. And now with the this past week with the FBI reopening their investigation, I think James O'Keefe deserves enormous accolades for getting the information out there to the American people. So welcome to the Stone Zone, James O'Keefe III.
Hello, Roger. It's great to be with you, and thank you for those kind words.
I am very impressed with the work that you and your team have done, the professionalism of the people you have surrounded yourself as you have grown and gotten better and better organized, and who've really, I think, made your mark in this election. Tell us what you think are the most significant revelations that we learned, because to me, I'm outraged because Nixon went down. He was driven from Washington because of dirty tricks and illegal activities in connection with the 1972 re-election campaign. And the Clintons, you have now proven, as well as WikiLeaks, that the Clintons are up to the same old tricks.
Yeah, thank you. So it's pretty remarkable what Woodward and Bernstein exposed. What some have said, what we have exposed makes the Watergate scandal look like petty shoplifting, because
a third-rate burglary, as it were.
A third-rate burglary is the words that you've used. And I'll tell you what, I mean, that was someone just sort of going into a hotel room with a flashlight. This is, on the videotape, you have Bob Creamer, the highest-level operative there is. This is a man who's the beating heart of the institutional left. He is not just some low-level Acorn employee lackey. He is someone who has met with the President of the United States 47 times, according to White House visitor logs. In our undercover reporting, he was on the phone with the White House on conference calls going over strategy, and he was a leader of the left, and he was a community organizer close with Clinton. He says in the videotapes that we've released that it was in fact all Clinton's idea. He says, don't tell anybody. He looks into a hidden camera and says, don't tell anybody this. But it was Hillary's idea to put ducks on the ground. These are people dressed up like a duck, and they would incite people punching them. And what we showed in all of the videos was that there was a massive effort to incite violence at Trump rallies and get violence. So all of the things you saw in Chicago and Arizona and North Carolina with Shirley Teeter getting punched in the face, this was all manipulative behavior that now we have admissions from these people. And that's the most revealing thing of the expose. I thought the voter fraud was going to be bigger than it was, but it turns out the fact that they admitted that they bloodied cops, that their behavior, and it was from the White House down, is the biggest revelation. And it was such a revelation. It was mentioned in the debates. Hillary Clinton was asked about it. She ran away. The White House was asked about it. They just said that, they just denied everything and just ignored what I did. But it was significant, and it was significant not just because of what we exposed, but because millions of patriotic Americans on social media were literally, as I call them, the barbarians at the gates of the firewall at these media organizations saying, why aren't you covering this? And that's really what this story is all about. It's about speaking truth to power in an age when the media and the government are in conflict.
Yeah, I think you put that very adeptly. You're just in a situation here where everything is role reversal. In fact, there was never any evidence that Richard Nixon knew about or approved the Watergate break-in in advance, unlike Hillary, who clearly approved an operation to incite violence, a violation of the law. What you've proven here is extraordinary, and I think we're reaching the tipping point where things no longer have to be on the front page of the New York Times. I mean, today's New York Times, pardon me, let me look. This was actually Friday. I've been carrying it around in my briefcase. Trump backers see revolution if Clinton wins. No, that's not what I see. I point out Richard Nixon got reelected carrying 49 states in a landslide, and 18 months later he was driven from the city. These violations of law, this greediness, this trail of lies and corruption, it's not going away. If she manages to steal or hold on to this election, she is going to suffer the same fate as Nixon, because we've reached a tipping point, in my opinion.
Yes, I think the tipping point is, as you pointed out, that's the perfect way to summarize it. It is a tipping point. The power of the people. They have nowhere to go. They have no one to speak for them. 91% of the media. There's been some studies here. 91% of the media is writing these just vociferously hateful, just garbage pieces pro-Hillary at this point. I mean, Andrea Mitchell on NBC literally said these videos have been discredited. There's nothing discredited about the videos. People got fired. Bob Creamer was fired. Scott Vogel was fired. Everyone's been fired. Even the guy who ran the nonprofit, Brad Woodhouse, went on Steve Doocy on Fox and said, "Yeah, of course I'm coordinating." So he was arrogantly doubling down on what we exposed. It's illegal for a non-for-profit to coordinate with the Hillary.
And we have a WikiLeaks disclosure this week that shows that none other than David Brock, a man who models himself after Joseph Goebbels as the disinformation agent for the Clintons, a guy who, between Media Matters for America, and I urge you to check out our parody site, Media Schmatters, SCH, mediaschmatters.com. Check that out. The ultimate source for everything you ever wanted to know about Hillary Clinton. But he has been illegally coordinating. He also has been essentially, based on an FEC report, a comprehensive FEC complaint, he's been money laundering like there's no tomorrow, mixing hard and soft dollars, nonprofit dollars, and so on. Because of the phenomena of elite deviance, whether he ever gets prosecuted for that remains an open question. There are different standards for those on the right than those on the left.
Yeah, I think it was one of the radio hosts I was talking to last week from Iowa, who was D.C. He said, James, we live in a nation no longer of political laws. We have a nation of political will, where there is no equal justice under law anymore. And that is all these things go right to that point, no matter what it is that we do. Our citizen journalism, the work you've mentioned, everything that happens in our society, it all goes back to the point that we don't live in a country where there's equal justice under law. In our videos, we've showed that there is a nexus of illegal money being passed from nonprofits to campaigns and from Hillary down, and it's a strict violation of after Watergate they passed the campaign coordination law, and nobody cares. It's all just O'Keefe is a criminal convict, evil man.
Yeah.
It's a strange world we live in.
Well, the invective, racist, bigot, hitman, dirty trickster. No, I'm an experienced political operative, and I know what I see, and now I'm writing about it. So call me a whistleblower. I'm proud to be your friend. I'm proud of the work you have done. I urge people, send a check to Project Veritas. These guys know what they're doing. Many thanks, James O'Keefe.
Thank you, Roger.